Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all. Wyclef Jean, BKS1
What
Radio.
is going on, everybody? How are you? It is our day. It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. How are you guys? Hi, Norm. How are you doing today? Are you having a good day? Oh, I'm so glad. Listen, y'all, it is Tuesday. It's my favorite day of the week. Why? Because I get to see Norm. I get to see you guys. I get to go to Bible study. And then I get to soak in all of that good word and then come here and cut up with you. That's why I need prayer. I need extra prayer and an extra prayer on that. Big shout out to everybody that's on the check-in right now. How are y'all doing? I see you. Leroy Donovan, good night. Good evening to you. How are you doing? Hey, Auntie Linda, good to see you. Hi, Jay. How are you? Happy Tuesday, Jay. It's my favorite day of the week. It's Tuesday, the day of making me mad at radio. Hey, Pastor Steph, how are you? So look, y'all tell me how your day was. How was your weekend? Oh, I got something to tell y'all. So this weekend, me and several ladies from my Unbothered group, I'm trying to get this hair together again. My Unbothered group, we went to go see Bob Marley's One Love. Did you see that? Let me tell you guys something about that movie. First of all, it was incredible. That's number one. Second of all, Rita Marley is one heck of a woman. That Rita Marley is something else. I don't know if I could see why I'm not gonna lie. Love will have you do stuff that you just never thought that you would do. And Dr. C is in the back room nodding her head. I can't wait to bring her on. I might need her sofa after this, because God knows that woman. Jay, that movie was incredible. Jay, you need to go see it. You need to go see it. And I leaned over to my sissy when there was a certain part in the movie, and I leaned over and I said, "Ooh, this is triggering me." I mean, this movie was incredible. And the kind of woman that she was, first of all, I did a little bit of reading on her, right? Rita Marley took a bullet in the head for Bob Marley. I mean, there was an assassination attempt on his life. They bum rushed his place. She ended up getting shot in the head. I'm floored behind that. Then on top of that, she knew that there were other women, and she stayed. Because Norm, I will take this shoe and throw it right at your 7 feet head. Norm! No, I'm talking about that's a good woman. It depends. It depends, because here's the thing.
Jesus.
Dr. C said Jesus.
Oh, you can hear me. I didn't know you can hear me.
At the end of the day, when I watched what she went through, it's y'all don't understand. There's just some things that love will make you, not make you. We have a decision to make. And when we are so engrossed with love, we allow emotions to take us to a place that we never even think that we can get to, and emotions that will say that could never be me. That's why, listen, there's some things I will actually say I will never do because I know I will never do, but then there's some things that I will, when I saw her, when she talked about, there's a part in the street, y'all got to see this movie. There's a part that she and Bob were arguing in the street. That's the part there that got to me. Jason said, Pastor Steph said, what'd he say? Pastor Steph, Norm over here talking smack, talking about this clapping and saying it's good she stayed. I almost took this shoe and told him to duck because I would never hit him. But at the end of the day, I needed it to go in his direction. Jason said, he is Bob Marley. Of course she stayed with him. And then Linda said she knew his potential. My Aunt Linda said that. Okay, but Jay, here's the thing, though. I want you to check this out. She was with him before he was who he became. She was with him from day one. They were like teenagers. And there was a genuine love with Rita Marley and Bob Marley. And she supported him in spite of what it may have looked like. She was always there, and she heavily supported him, and he still did his thing, and she stayed, and then what happened was, let me just give this one part. When they were out, and there was this event, and while he was at this event, this guy starts talking to Rita. Yeah. Pause. We're going to put a pause on that, sir, because ain't no violation when you cheating. So I'm going to clap it up for me real quick on that one, talking about violation. So at the end of the day, Jay, she really is and was, because let me tell you what happened. She's just talking to this man, having a conversation with this man. Bob Marley is watching the conversation, right? But see what happened? He was so busy doing his own thing that now he sees another man talking to his wife, and then he got in his feelings and was staring, and then as she was leaving, he ran after her, and that's when the argument in the street popped off. That movie, I told them when it was over, I told the ladies that night, I'm going to see it again. I'm going to see it again. It was an incredible movie. Hey, Leisha. All right, y'all, before we get started, you guys know how I like to do. I like to know what city, what state, where you at. Holla at your girl. Let me know how your weekend was. How was your day today? How was your yesterday? My day has been crazy. It's going to be crazy again tomorrow and the next day and the next day, because I have what's called strategy meetings and style outs where they start preparing for the merchandising department starts lining up things to bring into the stores, and I'm sitting in there taking notes for almost 8 hours, y'all. But in Jesus' name, but I thank God that I'm blessed to have a job. So real quick, you guys know I like to get a couple of funny things going on, and then we're going to get started with the show. So I have one quick question. Have you guys ever, first of all, I love Airbnbs, right? Hey, Tonya. Listen, Dr. C, I just went ahead and told the whole movie. Y'all, look at this Airbnb. Check this out. Ooh.
What's in this bedroom? Nice big bedroom. Oh, there's a closet. What's in this closet? Oh. Oh, jeez, that's heavy. Nice big safe door. Let's go down these stairs. Another safe door. A hallway. Another safe door. Another safe door. Another safe door. And now we're in the bunker. This room has several years' supply of food, but it is currently locked, so we can't look at it. Kitchen. Monitors and radios. Living area. What's in this bedroom?
Why were there like so many secret compartments in that Airbnb? That would mess me up. That would make me nervous, because if I go away to an Airbnb, I would want to know that I got a certain private space. There were like nooks and crannies all over the place. That would trip me out. That would make me super nervous, and I would have to check out. Right? Dr. C posted serial killer. Or they had to work for the CIA. One of the two. Now, here's my other one. This is my final one, because I forgot to post the other stuff. When I was trying to send it, it wouldn't upload. I have a question for you.
Supply of you get to be a part of a tour with your favorite artist, or you get free rent for the rest of your life. Which one are you choosing?
It's okay.
All right, check it. So you enter the contest and you won, but you only have 4 options and you can only choose one. You get $50 million. You have unlimited lifetime supply of food. You get to be a part of a tour with your favorite artist, or you get free rent for the rest of your life. Which one? All right, check it. So you enter the contest and you won, but you only have 4 options and you can only choose one. You get $50 million. You have unlimited lifetime supply of food. You get to be a part of a tour with your favorite artist, or you get free rent for the rest of your life. Which one are you choosing? All right, check it. So you enter the contest and you won, but you only have 4 options and you can only choose.
I'm going to be honest with you. I would probably do the 50 million. And here's why I would do the 50 million. One, because free rent is different than a free mortgage. So free rent for the rest of my life is not cutting it with me, because what I would do is pretty much buy the house of my dreams and pay it off. That's number one. So lifetime supply of food, trust me, I eat like that anyway. So that's no big deal for me. So 50 million, I'll get me a nice house and world tour with favorite artists. Once I get that 50 million, money attracts money. I'll be able to go ahead and buy whatever artist I want for the day. And that's my answer, and I am sticking to it. Dr. C, before we get started and going on with my other ads and all this other stuff, what would you do?
Oh, I dropped the cash. I dropped the cash right in the comments. Cash all day long. And just what you said, I can have everything on there if I had the 50 million and more.
And more, Dr. C, I'm
million, like, I can increase that.
50 million. First of all, a lifetime of food supply. At the end of the day, that's not paying the mortgage, and it's not getting me the house of my dreams, number one. And then on top of that, like I said, pay rent. No. Don't talk to me about no paying rent.
Even a mortgage.
Right.
Listen. I mean, what kind of house are you going to have? Even if you had like a $10 million house, you still have 40 million left.
I still have 40 million left.
money.
All day.
I'm taking the money.
And look at
this. Hey, Miss Tiffany.
Hi, my Dr. C. Oh, Dr. C, we ain't done yet.
Oh,
I got an announcement to make.
Okay.
I got 3 announcements. 1, 2, 4. But I just had to bring you on because I was tired of keeping you in the background. So, y'all, I got something to say. On March 9th, I need you guys to go ahead and donate. My dear friend and pastor, Pastor Rawls, is over at Community Church of God in partnership with PsychoCare host CCOG. Annual fundraising clothes drive right in Plainfield. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. March 9th, 417 West 6th Street, Plainfield, New Jersey. You guys go ahead and make your donations. It's a clothing drive. I'm definitely going to make a donation. And I know you guys are probably like, wait a minute. Don't you have a brunch on March 9th? Yeah, I do. And I am going to be still going to make my donation first in Plainfield. And then I'm heading over to my brunch on March 9th. We are going to have Beauties, Brunch, and the Brainstorm. And guess what, y'all? We are going to be at the Boss Loft right in Union off of Morris Avenue. The place is amazing. And look at who's going to be there. Dr. C. It's going to be an amazing time, and I'm so looking forward. I need you guys to go ahead, ladies, and register www.unbotherthemovement.com to register. Dr. C is going to be talking about the heart to help myself. Then I have someone coming in, Miss Sweetheart Kerry Washington Bye is going to be talking about faith and finances. And my other love right there, Miko Hardley, is going to be dealing with Go Sis. And SIS stands for Sisters, Inspiring Sisters. And your girl, aka me, I am going to be doing the Brainstorm Workshop. You definitely do not want to miss this. It's going to be absolutely bonkers, incredible, women coming together. And so I was asked, what is the dress code? My thing is this: when you work hard all week, when you've been out, you're dealing with family, whether it's kids, whether you're dealing with, siblings, whatever it is, y'all ain't got to dress up for this. I don't care if you come in sweats. Come ready to work and get free from certain things and just come comfortable. Listen, we come dressed up for the conference. Y'all, I'm not going to have y'all get all dressed up for this. I want you to come ready to brainstorm. Some of you have children, and at the end of the day, it's not easy trying to pick out something, and you're running around, and it's going to be stuffy. You're going to be stuffy. No. I want you to feel like you can move. If you got to come in sweats and sneakers to kick it, so be it. Just come. But I need you to register so I can get a head count on how much food we need to have. And are you ready for this right here? Unbothered the movement has officially reached a certain milestone. We now have 700 women in our group. Is that amazing, Norm? Norm, stop. Thank you, Norm. I am so grateful and just honored that the women that are in this group have not just joined the group, but trusted myself and the women that are in there enough to invite other women to be a part of this amazing group. And I'm so humbled and grateful. We are now at 700 members, and it's a blessing. But I had to save the best flyer for last. Look at what's getting ready to go on in here, y'all. Healing Outside the Box, a self-help masterclass series, 3-day virtual event with none other than my Dr. C. Y'all don't call her that, though. That's my personal name for her. Y'all call her Dr. Cook. Okay? Let's make that clear. If you call her Dr. C, I hope you give her a little bit of flair other than what I call her. But I call her that. Don't take my name. So I want you guys to go ahead and register. This is a 3-day event. And it's March 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. This is going to be a time of healing outside the box. And I now, without further ado, welcome my Dr. Carla. Where is my, you know what? Where did my drum rolls go? I know I had drum rolls. If not, I had them.
I'm here.
Hi, Dr. C.
Hello again.
First of all, let me just say this about you. When I came in and I saw you jump in on the Zoom line as fast as you did, I said, dang, Norm, she got home quick.
I left a little early. I left a little early because I was like, I want to make sure I'm here, and I didn't want to rush it. Yeah.
I am so grateful to have you here. Thank you, Dr. C.
Thank you. It's so good to be here, and I thank you for having me.
Of course. Listen, there's no reason why I wouldn't. I know what you bring, and I know how you are. You bring peace. You bring love. You bring awareness, but you bring joy. You bring kindness. You're just a kind person, and I like you. I don't just love you, I like you, because if I didn't like you, we already know.
We already know. Thank you, Tiffany.
I really love
and
you.
I love and like you too.
Thank
you know, we go back.
We go back years.
We go back. I love everything you do, everything you stand for.
Thank you, Dr.
Just how you're out here, how you're lifting people, your voice, your touch. All of that, and I'm so glad that we are connected in this way.
I am too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. C, tell us about what you got going on March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. What's going on with Healing Outside the Box?
So listen, I've just been thinking, I have been out in these streets on a public platform talking about healing really since 2016. Now, it definitely goes back further than that. When, I was been in the field, I had a counseling center for many years, but I was called out of the four walls of an office into the world, really to talk about healing, to talk about how we can grow, how we can evolve, how we can develop, how we can thrive. And it's been, it's just a passion, and it's a call, and it's a push, because I understand that we have the capacity, you, I, everyone listening in, we have the capacity to go higher, to develop elevated levels of mental well-being. And I'm really attempting to speak to it in a way where people get it, they want it, and they take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. So this 3-day experience, this is something, it's been in my spirit to do some type of masterclass. And last year I developed this bundle. I remember you came on, you said, she has a bundle, y'all. So I have this bundle. It's a keepsake box that says Healing Outside the Box. Actually, let me just lift it up.
I couldn't wait to buy it. First of all,
you were one of the first.
That's right, y'all.
As a matter of fact, y'all tried to sell me out before I went to the conference I was launching it at. Yeah.
Dr. C, can I be honest with you?
Please.
My mother told me, and you should probably diagnose me, and I'll just go ahead and just be honest. My mom has told me years ago that I probably should have been diagnosed with ADHD. I'm not making light of it. I'm just telling you that I probably should have been, because I can go from 0 to 100 being focused here and then switching over there and then coming back here and then going back to the other thing. We're not doing this today. See, you just triggered me, because now I'm just showing her exactly how effective you about to make it become.
He's over there in the background doing
you
stuff.
hear Norm starting? But I probably should have been. I've always been that way. But in the same breath, there's certain things that I hone in on, and it's coloring books. My mom got me like 5 years ago, a coloring Bible. First of all, it ain't no secret. I love the word. I love the word. I will read the Bible. But she got me a coloring Bible, Dr. C.
Wow.
And I bought Norm. Remember when Norm would do his Zoom Rebels, the head-to-head hits? We would be on Zoom, and Dr. C, I would be on there with my adult coloring book while listening to the old school slow jams, just coloring. And so when you did this bundle and you pulled out a coloring book, I was like, Say less. And that's right. I was one of the first to buy.
You were. You know, when you said that, I'm just listening and I'm thinking, like, many people actually have adult ADHD, that was never diagnosed. And coloring allows us to drop into a different hemisphere of our brain, like the right hemisphere where all of the creativity is. But when we are engaging the right brain and the left brain together, right, the two hemispheres, it's a whole different process. It allows us to process differently, which, you know, possibly gives you the focus. But I digress. Yeah, you made Dr. Cook come out.
I made Dr. Cook come out. So, because on the cover of, hold that box up for me.
Let me.
Is that a brain on the cover?
Of the box?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What made you, when you look how beautiful that is?
Isn't it beautiful?
Dr. C, that is absolutely amazing.
Isn't it beautiful?
Feeling outside.
I love it. I really
Shout out
love
to
it.
Mother Arthur. Good to see you, Mother Arthur. Mother Arthur said, I like that. Elevated mental healing.
Yeah, we need it. Look, as we talk about this, I think one of the things, look, you got me, ADHD.
Did I trigger you, Dr. C?
I just went a whole different direction. Anywho, let me stick to the program. Yes, there's a beautiful heart on the box. That just makes me smile. It's a keepsake box, so you use it however you want to use it. That's your business. You take the stuff out of the box, or you leave it in the box. You know, you allow yourself to be able to take what you want out of the box and use it. But the box itself, to me, is a metaphor for so often we have things in our hand, but we're not utilizing it. We're not taking advantage sometimes of the things that are, you know, right in our hand. And healing is always all around us. And so as I look at this bundle, this box, and I think about it, that's what I think about.
I have a question for you, Dr. C. Oh, Regina said, what's in the box? Regina Carmen. Hey, Regina. Pastor Steph, isn't it beautiful? And when I tell you, Regina Carmen says, what's in the box? Are you able to discuss what's in the box, Dr. C?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I want you to know what's in the box.
Okay. We about to come out the box.
Okay. Because what's in the box, like, as pretty as the box is, what's in the box is the value. Okay.
There it is.
So, bam. So in the box is my book, the I'm Being Well workbook. Okay.
There you go. Oh,
whatever. Foundations of Positive Emotional Health.
Yes.
This has 21 tools and strategies to combat stress. It's exercises, it's information. I give you tools, the function of the tool, and then the application of the tool. I have a coloring book, as Tiffany was saying, and this is Emotions Are Messengers in Color. And so in the coloring book, there are emotions. As you're coloring, you're actually also kind of processing. So there's some journal entries that you do to look at what your relationship is with that emotion, what that emotion has been like for you, and kind of what is your plan to get closer to emotions. If you have followed me and listened to me, I talk about the value, significance of emotions, and how emotions can help us to be more effective, live more effectively. And so anyway, that's that. And I also have a CD, which actually I have the USB in the new bundles.
But I love in the new bundles you have.
I have a USB. Yeah. So I actually did this in 2019, but this is my voice, my guidance, my process, walking you through a total stress management experience. So we go into deep breathing, progressive relaxation, guided imagery, grounding. And this, when I had my counseling center, my clients, they used to always say, Dr. Cook, oh, I wish I could take you with me. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so now you can. So you're taking me with me, my voice, and then a journal.
Yes.
In here as well with some emoji stickers. And so that's what's in the box. That's the bundle. The box itself is valued at $60, but it goes for $40. But I decided to really expand this and do a master class on healing outside the box. The first day is really about letting go, increasing our peace, being able to walk in freedom. The second day is really about getting out of our head to master our mind. And the third day is really all about showing up successfully like the superstars that we are. So that is each day. And the VIP is 2 hours with me. No, we're not going to be going page by page through this book. No, this is supplemental, but the classes are going to be original material, walking us through strategies, information, so that, okay, now I could go back to Mother Arthur and the elevated level of mental well-being, so we can get there. We can get there.
Wow. So we can get to elevated mental healing. Dr. C, there's people on here that my list is just going up. If you guys get a chance, go ahead, tag a friend, text a friend, tell a friend that the Making Me Matter radio show is indeed on the air. Go ahead and get that word out so we can go ahead and get people to get their mind healthy and right. And Dr. Carla Cook is licensed, y'all. She's a licensed, Dr. C, am I saying it right, psychotherapist?
I'm a psychologist, a licensed psychologist, and I do forensic work. Look, y'all, I'm legit, too legit to quit, and I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And, I have really been, I'm going to use the word struggling with something, y'all, that I feel like there is a disconnect that I want us to push past, that we have this conversation and it's a good conversation and we get excited about it. Yet on the other side, I don't necessarily always see the action step, the taking the action to step into the opportunities to allow us to begin to go higher. And I think sometimes it's like we feel like we're okay, right? We there's nothing wrong, and there is nothing wrong with us. Yet at the same time, look, we were talking about money. If you think about money and you think about financial wellness, we never put a limit. We never put a cap on that. If we think about spiritual development, we never put a cap on that. We understand that that's infinite, right? It's infinity. And I want us to understand that with our mental well-being, I call it mental wellness, that we have put a lid on where we can go. And there are new levels of peace, new levels of freedom, new levels of showing up, new levels of connecting with our mind and our body that will allow us to evolve and thrive in ways that we have not reached yet. So that is the purpose of the class. And I saw some people like, I need the bundle. I need the bundle.
Do you see them going in saying they need this, Dr. C?
Yeah, I want to give you the bundle, but I want you to come into the class. This is the deal of the day. This is the deal to come into the class, because not only do you get the bundle, but you get the value, you get more information, you get to ask questions, you get to go deeper, drop into your heart, and begin to do some processing that's going to allow you to begin to shift into shift into spaces and places in yourself that possibly you didn't even realize you could get to.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think? Because what do you think is the barrier with most African Americans being who they are and facing and dealing? And I don't know if this is a loaded question or not. Being African American, dealing in encountering barriers, right? With facing and dealing with mental health. Because a lot of us, am I wrong for saying from a cultural standpoint, we don't want to believe that there is a mental health issue. And then to actually deal with it is even more in depth and harder than actually facing it, because when you're dealing with it and you start seeing the situation, it's like, oh my God, this was me this whole time. I don't believe that. And then they end up diverting back to where they were. What's your take on that? And have you seen that?
Yeah, you know, absolutely. I mean, we could unpack this and have an hour show about this because there's a lot of different factors. One of the things that stands out to me, and I think about, is the fact that we are so used to doing life on our own. We're so used to, you know, having to like struggle, show up. And not that all of us are struggling,
Right.
you know, not even financially or anything like that. But sometimes, like living on your own, it does become a struggle. Like we're not meant to live on our own. That's why the Bible says two is better than one, really. Right. And that there's always this idea of fellowship. But I do think when it comes to who we are, when it comes to looking at our mental well-being, so often we're private, quote unquote, right?
Right.
I don't want people in my business.
Right.
So often it's that I've had to do life on my own so long that I'm used to doing it on my own. I don't have the expectation that anyone is going to help me. And, you know, sometimes, look, y'all, we got to have some self-honesty. And sometimes we are overlooking our patterns and we just feel like it's okay. Like this is just who I am. And this is okay. Or, you know, or we're not recognizing, or we don't care. We don't care necessarily to change, right? We don't necessarily think that there's anything to change. And look, I also do forensic work, right? So I do like expert testimony for legal matters around assessment trauma.
I love it.
And one of the things that is a pattern that I very often see is that most people think more highly of themselves. Okay, I'm just going to say it this way. Think more highly of themselves. They think of themselves in a favorable way. The Bible says it's this way. All of the ways of a man are right in his own eyes. And so we have to begin to say, that's me. That's me.
Own it.
Right? And it's not that I'm going to downplay myself. It's not that I'm not going to think well of myself, because we should think well of ourselves. We should recognize our strengths. In addition to that, we have to stay open to growth, stay open to shifting and changing, stay open to getting better. So, yeah.
Stay open to getting better. Have you ever heard someone say, I don't think I can get better?
I have heard that. I've heard it in two ways, though. I can't get better because I'm so broken that life is never going to get better for me. And then the opposite spectrum of that is I can't get better because I'm the best thing since sliced bread.
Dr. C, I couldn't deal with somebody like that because I don't know how you hold it in and say, let me just remind you that you're not. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? It's really about the compassion.
Yeah.
Because it is the understanding that under that is brokenness.
You know what, Dr. C? I believe that. But because in all honesty, that makes sense. It's almost like, am I wrong for saying this? It's like you got to talk yourself off this ledge. So you start telling yourself these things that you are the bomb, you are the best, you are this, but there's a shallow element that you house. And so you're doing this to try to convince yourself, because a person that really is convinced and secure in who they are, they don't have to do all of that.
Go ahead and analyze. Because you're on point. You're on point. It's exactly that. It's the emptiness that sits inside of me. And therefore, I attempt to portray myself as, you know, this incredible, amazing person, so I don't sit in the emptiness of my soul, because then I would dissolve, I would disintegrate. Yeah, and that's the dilemma of, we talk about narcissism a lot and narcissistic personalities, but there's also traits. Like sometimes people aren't full, like you may not be diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, but we can have traits of different personality disorders. So it's a tendency. You're right. So the tendency to think of myself very highly. And a lot of times the tendencies come out during periods of stress. Right. So it's kind of like you go back and fall into the familiar. So if I tend to be attention seeking, right, then I'm that way. If I tend to be more someone that's withdrawn from people, when things are very stressful, I'm going to withdraw even more.
Dr. C, I'm going to say something to you. That, hey, Crystal, and hey, Wanda Stansberry. Good to see you guys on here. Tracy Beckford, all the way from Orlando. Y'all blowing up this thing today. I'm glad y'all over here supporting my sweet Dr. Carla Cook. And Mother Arthur just said, love the balance you bring with the biblical foundation. Me too. Lord, I almost called you Dr. Arthur. Me too, Dr. Mother Arthur. Same here. I'm going to be honest with you. Something that you just mentioned took me back when I was in that sweet home, Dallas, Texas. And when I worked for a mental health facility that was on the campus of a school, because they were assigned, they had trailers assigned to different schools, right? And my boss, big shout out to my old boss, Donna Davis. And she was the center supervisor and the center manager. And I sat in her office one day and I said to her, "Is because you see how you're talking about people that think more highly of themselves?" I asked her, I said, in that DSM-4, is there anything that says that there's a diagnosis for being afraid to succeed? And she said, no. I said, well, somebody need to create one. Because that should be a diagnosis, because somebody who is not afraid of failing, but afraid of succeeding. And I said, and it makes sense, because a person that is scared to succeed is scared to disappoint those if they don't reach a certain plateau, even though they know they can reach it. Once they get there, there's a measure of expectation that they got to go higher and higher and higher. I said, somebody need to diagnose me.
That's funny. Sometimes that's more of a symptom of certain disorders. So, for instance, if someone is highly anxious, right? So I'm so anxious that I'm not moving on certain things, right? I may not even be conscious of the fact that it is related to fear of success, right? But the anxiety is showing up, and it's about the fear of success. Or it can be depression. Like it can cut across a number of different diagnoses. That is incredible. So that's really about patterns and about the way we show up. And just to double back and double click on the masterclass, like that's one of the things, the third day, in terms of showing up like the superstar. How do we begin to really look at the patterns that we engage in, and how do we begin to, I'm going to say this way, really show up in peak performance, right? Functioning optimally and really healthy and adaptively, so that we can move in life, whether it be our family, our work, our churches, our civic organizations, communities, right? So we can move through life and all of these different aspects of life and be impactful and be powerful.
And be impactful. That's good. When you designed this master class, what was your heart and mind like in regard to the needs of the people? Because I'm sure you see so much, not just as Dr. Carla Cook, not just as Minister Dr. Carla Cook, but just as being Carla Cook, as a human, as a person. You see so much. So to connect and create this master class, what did you have in mind outside of the topics that you were doing? Because something triggered you to do this.
Wow. I think I always have in mind, how do I keep creating space for people? How do I keep creating opportunity for people? And honestly, I want to see people running to show up and to register like that. That's my heart, to see people really have a deep understanding and value for going higher in ourselves, for taking the limits off, for accessing this freedom, and then using that not just for our own behalf, but using it to give, using it for others, using it. I talk about healed people heal people. Using it to make the world a better place, like for real. Make our families better, our children better. So that's always, every time I speak, every time I do anything, including this masterclass, I do it from a place of, like, my greatest desire is that people will come into an opportunity and leave on the other side like in a better place to give back.
A better place to give back. And something, when you just said that, and I really felt the Spirit of God when you said that, because giving, you said, from a place to give back. And what I love about what you're doing with this masterclass, oh, Dr. Cook, people will be able to realize that they can give back.
Yes.
Because there's so many that desire to, but don't feel like they are capable of doing it.
Or even deserving.
Or even deserving to give. Like, I don't deserve to give this or to sow in this area because of how I am. Or I don't deserve to be in the space with this person and that person because of this is me. No. That's a trick of the enemy to make you feel stuck and to keep you in a place where you're not pursuing and able to start moving your feet into the direction of purpose and healing. That when you said that, that just, woof, it shifted my Shondo.
Look, I'm gonna take you on the road with me. You come with me. Because really, listen, y'all, if we're honest, many of us are walking around with regret, with shame, with doubt, with low self-esteem, with worry, with our minds bombarded with I said that, but I should have said that, or I should have done that. Yeah. With feeling low. Like, many of us are walking around, but we smile and we look good and we keep working at it, right, to get better, which is a great thing, which is an awesome thing, but we don't have to do it alone. And I think the other thing is that, look, there's also some strategies that can be used that make it easier. I have spent my entire life, basically, I mean, even as a young person, I was always curious about people, but I've, done so much study, traditionally, degrees, but certifications and all of that, but if I am looking at finances, I'm not going to do it on my own because I don't specialize in that.
Right.
Like, so there's certain specializations that, look, once we get it, it makes life easier.
Absolutely. And it's in Bishop used the word. Big shout out to our pastor, Bishop Anthony W. Gilliard. He said something today when you what you just said. Even with that, it's almost like you know where you are supposed to be, and if there's not a place that you're supposed to be, that's when you engage. Right? He mentioned the word engagement tonight in Bible study, and so when you just said that, it just engagement resonated in my spirit because I said, "Oh." Bishop just used the word engage. And Dr. C, hey, Steve, good to see you. I want to get a question out. And then I'm going to ask you another question. Question is, how do we address issues of belonging in a variety of rooms?
Woo! I love that. I love that question. I love to think about belonging, and I think so many of us feel like we don't belong. We're in rooms full of people, and there's feelings of invisibility or feelings of disconnection. And I'll say, again, this is a big question. There's a lot to this. Sometimes that disconnection or feeling like I'm not belonging is internal. Okay, it's not always that, but I want to say that if we have never really found our fit, if we always felt like we're different, if we came from families where love was conditional, where, if we grew up bullied, right, all of these different things, sometimes our internal experience is I don't belong. And we show up in spaces and it becomes a reflection. So sometimes it's about looking at, sometimes, not all the time, it's about looking at what does this have to do with me? Sometimes it is about being stretched, coming out of ourselves to connect with other people. And then there are some environments, I think there's also a human tendency around belonging that I want to keep my circle. So when I'm with, groups, I'm so wanting the belonging that I start to exclude other people. And so I really am making people feel like they don't belong. Right. And again, that goes back to me, right? That goes back to who I am. And sometimes it could be unintentional. Sometimes we're just not aware that, I'm having a good time. I know people, I'm moving, I'm talking, and I'm feeling good, but I'm not being inclusive to other people. So I think in terms of the question, what do we do?
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, we can never change other people. We can only look at ourselves. And some rooms we have to look at, do I even belong here? Like, for real. Should I even be, am I trying to belong in a space where I don't even belong?
And is it safe to say, you know what? I don't belong here. And it's okay to be honest and say, this is just not my space.
Why I'm feeling like I don't belong, because I really don't belong in this environment. It could be a good environment, but it's not your environment.
It's not your environment. And it doesn't make it a bad thing.
It doesn't make it a bad thing. And it doesn't make them bad people.
Right.
Right. So, we have to look at where we are. And then if we are in a space where we belong, we'll look at opportunities to begin to connect. Sometimes it's connecting on smaller levels until we can connect in the bigger picture. Sometimes, normally there's somebody in the room that's going to smile, give eye contact, learning to make conversation ourselves if we're not good conversationalists, spending some time like coming up with questions, being curious about people, listening to them. Sometimes we're so nervous about, what am I going to say? Well, you don't have to say anything. Like, people want to be heard. So sometimes it is a matter of, listening, just a matter of your presence, and knowing that is, for me, a priority that I want to work towards. Like everybody doesn't want to work on that, but if that's something that you want to work on, then it's about putting together a strategy and then implementing that.
What do you think is going to be the hardest challenge for every person that participates in this master class? What is the hardest challenge that they will encounter and or have to walk away with? Because anytime you're becoming a master of anything or participating in anything that's masterful, there's a challenge of something that was less than. So what do you expect the people? Come on, Dr. C.
That's a good question. Look,
Thank you.
My first thought is the first biggest challenge is getting there. Getting your feet in the door, because there's going to be a reality that some people will pass on this for a variety of reasons. Sometimes people will say, this is not for me. I think a lot of times there's a misinterpretation about what it means to heal. And so when we hear that term, we say it's good and this person needs it or that person needs it, but I don't need it. And I think that's a mistake. So, think about healing. I said it before in terms of growing, developing, evolving, thriving. I keep wanting to say, a little help getting in the door. There is a coupon code. I should have put that on the flyer.
That's okay. You can let them know now, Dr.
Right. So that
That's
y'all know, look, because I want you to get in the door and I don't want that to be a hurdle. Just because I love Miss Tiffany and y'all, and I know you all do too. You all get a coupon code. So you get a bundle, you get a bundle, you get a bundle, you get a bundle. So essentially there's $40 off, which is the cost of the bundle. And you use the coupon code Miss Tiff. One word, no spaces, MSTIFF.
I love it. Thank you, Dr. C.
Yeah. So get in the door, the first hurdle. I think the second hurdle is, and I think about a lot of times what happens is that it's almost like you get into a place and then there's like, oh no, now there's the transparency. Now there's the vulnerability that there's things that maybe I hadn't thought about or I didn't recognize. And now I get to see that. And as much as it's a good thing, it's also sometimes can be a challenging thing. And I'll just say the other thing is, and I shouldn't say this one, I should just let y'all get in there. So this don't turn you off. But a lot of times, look, sometimes we're staying the same and we're maintaining the status quo. Because if we change, what does that mean? What does that mean to people, places, and things, right? What does it mean? The people that are benefiting from me being who I am, or even myself, how I benefit from this. Once I change, once I start to think differently, once I start to move differently, how does that shift some things that I've been holding on to and maintaining? So I will say that can be a challenge. Wow. Look, y'all are dropping stuff. I can't see. I want to know who's registering. I see someone said I need this. Let's see. I need this.
Yeah. Big shout out to my auntie, Teresa Ray. She says she needs it. Regina Carmen says removing the fear of being vulnerable. Tracy Beckford, all the way in Orlando, said this is good. My girl Willie out in Dallas. Well, not in Dallas anymore. She's gonna always be in Dallas to me because that was my girl when we were back in Dallas. But she's out in Houston now. And Willie said, wow. And Teresa Ray said, that's me. I feel like this. Big shout out to Steve, who says that this is his favorite show, as it should be. And I had said to Teresa, we should do a watch party doing this. Let's just all register and meet up. I think that would be amazing. Everybody that wants to be a part of this, and I'm definitely going to tell this to the women in Unbothered, let's go ahead, register, use the code Miss Tiff, and then we register, we get our bundles, and then we'll get the bundle, we'll go ahead and get the books, everything that we need, and then when it's time, we all come together, we go ahead and log in, and then we sit back and we engage, and we sit amongst each other, and we get what you are going to bring forth to help us get here.
I love that idea. Listen, you were going to be on Zoom. Anyway, if someone is not available those days, remember that the replay will be immediately available. And there's a Facebook group for this. Mm-hmm. So, and what really what the vision is that, look, you're making an investment. You're making an investment of your time, your energy, your money. And the idea is to get ongoing value. So you'll come in also to a private Facebook group where I'll be able to, pop in, do Facebook Lives, give information. So it doesn't end for the 3 days. I want to really have a space for those who are making investments, making an investment in yourself, making mental wellness a priority, and then being able to pour into individuals that have already made a decision that, like, I understand the need for this. I have an appreciation for this. Yeah. So there's more than, we have the 3 days, but there's more than that. And I would love, I'm an Unbothered. I'm a member of Unbothered.
Yes, you are.
So come through, and yeah, absolutely. I would love to have you there. I would love to host you guys and pour into you and answer your questions. Look, we have 2 hours a night. Do some exercises. Like, yes, I have exercises in the book, but you'll be able to do those exercises. And it's not that we can't talk about those exercises, but again, my intention is to not regurgitate the book, right? There's things that I could not get into the book. And I did the book years ago. So there's certain things that I've thought about since then that if I had to do it over again, I would have put in there. So,
Dr. C, Regina Carmen said, where do we register?
Okay, so it's Heal Out the Box. www.healoutthebox.com. And the coupon code is for the VIP. The VIP, which you want the VIP anyway. You want the VIP experience. Look, I didn't even tell you there's going to be gifts. There's going to be prizes.
Oh, I love prizes and gifts, Dr. C.
So we're going to have fun. It's a serious matter when we think about this, but it's also like lifting to know I'm improving. So we're going to really be able to look at this, laugh. We're going to be able to talk about what you're gaining, ask your questions, all of that.
You know what, too, Dr. C, what I like about this is that healing is a day-to-day process. One day it's almost, and I've heard this analogy a billion times. I'm sure we've all heard it, but I just saw it when you were talking about how it's not just this 3-day masterclass. There's a private group you're going to engage with to help people continue their ongoing healing journey. And when we think about, I'm not trying to be, funny or anything, but when we think about healing, I think about the scab. There's always some measure of, if you get cut, a scab, as much as it itches, as much as it's annoying, it's there to protect the skin from getting infected. Yes. So there's a thick covering. And if you notice, if you've ever picked the scab, it's real thick, and then it pulls more of your skin and you start to bleed. So the scab is there to protect. It's there to cover, but it's there to help you get healed. And sometimes we need to understand that the stuff that we've gone through, we might have scabs. The scabs might be the evidence, but there's a day-to-day process for that scab to go away on its own, and then it falls off, and then you'll notice that the scar is pretty much gone. This is a day-to-day journey. And so I promise you, I really felt the Spirit of God just now when you mentioned it's the day part. This is not something that's just going to be this way. The Lord just showed me an arm with a scab. And that's what made me think about the scab and how it heals, how it protects. We always talk about how ugly it is. There's nothing pretty about the process of healing. It hurts. It's ugly. It brings back the reminder of why the scar is even there in the first place. There's so much that can be unfolded from a scab. But at the end of the day, it's a protectant so that the healing process can begin. So I really appreciate that it's daily, or that what you're doing, the private group, is amazing. But I really felt the Holy Ghost when you said that it's not just that. We're still going to be doing this. And I thank God. God, I thank you just for that, because people need to see that they get more.
Yes.
They get more.
Yeah, it's coming into the family, coming into a space, an environment. It's like an incubator, coming into an incubator to continue to have the conditions that help you to thrive. And so we have to stay connected. I did a post that talked about making investments, and that the way I've come to a place to show up, in full freedom, in authenticity, in vulnerability, transparency, clarity, is to stay connected and make investments, make investments. Again, because I'm here, but I want to go higher. I want to go further. And I have the understanding with mental wellness and the development that there's no ceiling to this. And the other reality is that we go through different stages and phases of life. And sometimes even the beautiful, amazing things create other challenges. We get a promotion, we get married, we have children, children move out of the home, we move environments, all of life shifting and happening means that there has to be an adaptability, that there's an unfolding and a need for flexibility. So when we stay plugged in, we don't have to be trying to catch back up and figure out, okay, how did I get here? Right? Because I wasn't plugged into anything. I wasn't really thinking about the way I think about things. Now I find myself here, and now I'm trying to deal with this and pull myself back up.
Ooh, Dr. C, that was so good. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to be able to, because you will indeed, again, be at the brunch, Beauty's Brunch and the Brainstorm on March 9th. Are you going to be able to bring some of your healing outside the box there to the brunch? And
I will bring the bundles.
Yay!
I will have the bundles in hand.
Wonderful. I would love to have them while there come through and support what you are doing. And they can register. All they got to do is scan the QR code, and that's it. So do you guys have anything else for Dr. C before we wrap up? Because Norm will come back in here shaking those keys.
Doc, look, I'm getting ready to call you Dr. C. Prophesy. I thank you so much for the time you have taken, just your heart to feed the people.
I love you, Dr. C. It's an honor.
To give them something that, again, doesn't just end tonight, but continues for them, an open opportunity. I was not supposed to be on here this long. We were gonna come together 15 minutes, but I so appreciate the time.
Let me tell you something. When God does a thing, we don't stop what he's doing. And at the end of the day, 15 minutes would have, to me, hindered what people would have needed to hear. And I needed them to hear. I needed them to hear. You needed them to hear. God wanted them to hear the depths of your heart for this masterclass and how it can bring healing, how it can bring hope. Some people walking around so hopeless because they don't have the hope to believe they can get healed. You know, and so this is going to change the trajectory of how people look at themselves.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Regina. She said, yes, Miss Tiff is the real
deal.
Thank you, my Regina. And
listen, for Tracy in Orlando, if you go to my website, you can order a bundle there. My website is drcarlajcook.com.
Okay. And she also asked, are you going to do another one? Because I think she said the dates. She wasn't available.
Tracy, I mean, if it really, really doesn't work, but also remember, you're going to have access to the replays. Right now, look, I'm getting through this. I have something. I have something else I'm going to be rolling out in April. I imagine I will get back to this, but I don't have like a date or a time frame or anything like that.
Okay.
Right now, but if it just doesn't work, it doesn't work. But there'll be a replay. I think I have on the website like for 30 days.
That's a good amount of time.
Right.
That's a good amount of time. Y'all better go ahead and get what you can get. Because there's just some things that you don't want to miss out on. And things like this that can change a whole heart. And when you change a heart, you change a hand. And when you change a hand, you're able to go ahead and bring healing to the person next to you. Then that goes to the next person next to you. You know what? A whole community is getting healed together. That's a beautiful thing.
Heal people.
There it is. Healed people, heal people. What's the website again? Trey, I'm going to have her tell it to you now.
I'll drop it in.
Okay.
It's Dr. Carla J. Cook, but I'll drop it in.
Okay. She's getting ready to put it in the comment section. It's
Thank you, Wanda.
Cook, Dr. Carla J. Cook. That's what it is. And so, y'all, make sure you connect with her. When you go ahead and register. Don't forget to use the code Miss Tiff so you can get the discount. And I am super grateful and excited and thankful to God for the time that we really had. Tracy said, I really need this, not only for me, but for my family. Tracy just lost. Trey, was it your it wasn't a niece, right? Was it your grandbaby? She just lost her 9-year-old granddaughter.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw that in the Unbar the group, and I lifted up a prayer and actually acknowledged that post. So sorry to hear that.
You know, and at this time, Trey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it would be good for the family to do this together. You know, and I'm just gonna put this out there. Okay. Not everybody is balling. Not everybody got the loot. I get it. But you don't know who will watch this and who does have it. So, Trey, your family probably needs healing. You don't know who might say, let me see if I can be a sponsor. Let me see what I could do to go ahead and just donate a seed into that family, as long as the family is watching it together. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. You just never know what God is going to do. She said her 9-year-old granddaughter, the memorial is this weekend.
My goodness.
9 years old. And these are things, Dr. C, we wake up and we look at our children, and regardless what they may have going on, we don't expect that to happen.
Absolutely.
You know, so I can't imagine the heartache, the trauma that you might be experiencing, or what a mother would feel like, you know. And this happens all the time, but at the end of the day, when it's someone that I don't know the child's mother, but I know Tracy, and to know that this is happening to her, it hurts, and as a community, and like the Bible says, we mourn with those who mourn, but in the same breath, in mourning, what's my book, Dr. C?
Yeah, because I thought about your book too, and I'm always like, you need to be promoting this book, From Morning to Morning.
From morning, how to the unknown journey to joy.
Yeah,
how to transition from
okay.
morning to morning. And it's funny because somebody from my job just lost his mother. He's got to be 25 years old. And I told him I was going to send him one. And he hit me up and said, "Are you going to mail that out?" I was like, "Oh my God, I forgot. I will." But this is the stuff. People are dealing with things. Dr. Carla Cook is a licensed psychologist. This is what she deals with. She's trained to deal with the mind. And she's trained to help you spiritually. She's a whole minister. It don't get no better than that. You got somebody that's not just going to tell you something that's just going to keep you for the moment. She's got something that's going to give you sustainability for the rest of your life. She's got the working power of the Holy Ghost, and she has the psychological education that she's been trained to help deal with your mind, my mind, your neighbor's mind, and everybody else's mind that you can come in contact with. So make sure you guys go ahead and register. This is not something that you want to miss out on. This is called an investment.
Tiff, I wanted to just say two things as you say that. One, I want to make it clear, and it says it on the website when you go there, this is not therapy. It is self-help. However,
self-help.
Part of self-help is knowing when I need therapy and how do I access it. Okay. So that is definitely something that can be talked about. There's questions about that. Yeah. My book, I have a chapter on that with exercises, a chapter on support. How do you get enrolled in therapy? A whole checklist. And so
that's the On Being Well.
On Being Well workbook.
The workbook.
Right. So that's in there. So you'll have that. But the other thing is, I would just like to extend an invitation to Tracy to participate in the 3-day virtual experience. Listen, Tracy, if you want to go ahead and get the bundle, it's $40. You can get it on my website. But in terms of the masterclass, you and I will connect, and I will make sure you get the Zoom link and everything like that. And I just like to invite you to participate.
Trey, I know you said that that's a tough weekend or whatever you have going on. Try to figure that out. I don't know what you got going on. This is for you. This is your help. This is the masterclass to help you have a masterfully healthy mind, body, spirit, and life. It don't get no better than that. And the thing is, Trey, all you got to do is just show up. That's it. By a click of a button, just show up, and that's it. And so Dr. C, that was so amazing of you to even consider doing that. Thank you for blessing her like that. She said, "I will make the time to be available." I know it.
Excellent. I'm glad.
I know it, and I'm glad too. This, when you think about your self-help, what you need for your own personal development in life, that's priceless. That's priceless, and nobody's going to be able to do the work for you. So your show up is really what's going to shift the next move in your life concerning you. The next moment.
You show up.
You show up.
I love that.
Regina said, such a blessing. I thank y'all so much. Thank you guys so much. Dr. C!
Woo!
Thank you!
Thank you. I love you with my whole heart. Respect you.
Thank you. Same here.
Looking forward to, just our ongoing partnership.
It's just beginning. It's just beginning.
Prophesy.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I thank you guys. Make sure you tune in next Tuesday. Same bad time, same bad channel. And Lord willing, if God says the same, we're going to have an amazing show. Freaky. Make sure you tell somebody, text friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend that the Making Me Matter radio show was indeed on the air. We had the one and only Dr. Carla Cook on. And make sure you go and register with Dr. Carla's Healing Outside the Box, a self-help masterclass series. You guys will not regret it. All right? Good night, Dr. C.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.